What is going on? Welcome to the masterclass How to Transition to a Six-Figure Career with Tech and AI Skills. So, my name is Mo, founder at Skillhead. I see we have 5 people in right now. For those 5 people who are in, please let me know your location. Let's start with location. So, wherever you are, put it in the chat. If you are located I'm in Toronto, Canada. But for everyone tuned in, wherever you're located, let me know. Put that in the chat. Okay, I see we got a few more people trickling in. Shout out to TT, says hello, Mo. Today's going to be incredible as usual. If you are here, get ready to be blown away. Get ready to have a lot of new thinking come to you in terms of how to be successful. Just testing a few things here. Microphone's all good. Okay, so you guys can hear me. I see Roxanne in Toronto, Canada. TT says North York. Okay, let's test screen share. Let's see if we are able to share screen. Okay, the question is for those who are tuned in. Well, before I ask you a question, again, reminder of where we are. Welcome to the masterclass today on how to fast track to a six-figure career with tech skills and AI skills. Now, I'm going to share my screen. Make sure we're good on the sharing. Let's try that. Present, share screen. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio on the next window. Okay, cool. So we're going to go to share auto share a tab instead. Okay, we're going to share this tab right here. So everybody should be seeing my screen. If you can see my screen, type screen in the chat. If you can see my screen that says from admin to tech professional, how to fast track to a six-figure tech career with AI and tech skills, type screen in the chat if you can see my screen. So what are we going to learn today? This is a roadmap for people who are in non-tech roles. So people in admin roles, customer service roles, healthcare, etc., who are looking to break into business analysis, project management roles, and other change management and leadership roles in tech. Okay, shout out to everybody who says they can see Stuart, Tiffany, Red Titty. Okay, cool. What we're going to learn is how non-tech professionals can actually make that transition, the essential AI, agile, and digital tools that make you guys stand out in these roles, how to build job-ready skills through hands-on projects, certifications, and how to optimize your resume to win you recruiter love. Okay, we're going to walk away with a clear plan of action that has helped tons of people be successful. So if you're here, you're probably feeling stuck in a job that doesn't excite you. Or maybe you want to transition to a six-figure career, paying 6 figures or more, like my guest, Gene, who's coming on in a few seconds. You want to get it done quickly. You want to get it done in a way that's not painful. And you don't want to disrupt your existing schedule. Maybe you got kids, you have a family, you got a full-time job that you don't want to disrupt, but you want to increase your income. If that's you're feeling stuck, put the word me in the chat. Just say that's me, right? If that's you feeling stuck right now, put the word that's me in the chat, or just say me in the chat, okay? Now, on the other hand, you may be in a good job, but you're seeing that there's a shift happening right now with AI. It's creating a new shift in the way businesses are moving, and you don't want to fall behind. You want to actually lead this change, okay? Shout out to Red, Tiffany, Roxanne in the chat. Thanks for the honesty. Now, some of the other people are saying they want to be on the side of people leading AI and not being influenced and waiting around for stuff to happen. If that's you, type AI in the chat. You're going to lead AI projects and help businesses improve efficiency using AI skills. Type AI in the chat if that's you. Or maybe you're on a journey. We have some folks in the room who are already Skillhead alumni or Skillhead students, and they're saying they want to continue this journey, but they have some doubt. Maybe they're like, can I do it? I'm getting a lot of rejections. The truth is, whether you believe it's possible or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is what you believe, right? And so if you believe it's possible, it will be possible for you. If you don't, then it will not be possible for you. Now, I know it's possible because we've helped our clients at Skillhead land multiple six-figure PM roles in AI. We're going to have one of our alumni, Jean, join us in a few seconds to talk about her experience. And these folks did it with no coding knowledge, no tech background, and no formalized experience. Okay. So you can do it, right? Now, does this sound familiar to you? This was my reality. Waking up every single morning, wanting to call in sick almost every single day, right? Tired of the day-to-day routine tasks. I hear this a lot from accountants, customer service people. They tell me, man, my work is boring. I'm doing the same thing over and over. Same customer issues on the customer service side. Or the accountants are saying stuff like, man, all the time, I'm doing the same thing, end of month report, income statements. I want to increase my income, but I'm already working long hours. I'm already working 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I have some other stuff I'm doing on the side. I want to make more and work less. Well, how can I do that? How can I make my time worth more? Whereby per hour, I'm not making between 16 to 20, 30 an hour. I'm making 40 an hour, $70 an hour, $100 an hour. How do I get there? That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I can relate to this because before I found my true calling in project management, business analysis, I was also working dead-end jobs. They left me feeling unfulfilled, unchallenged. I was stressed. I was exhausted. But the BA role, the project management role, helped me find joy in my work, make over 6 figures, work from anywhere, work from the beach, work from my home, work at the office. And I had a transformative change in my life, in my career, my leadership potential. And I want to help you achieve the same because you shouldn't have to sacrifice your dreams for your well-being or your well-being for your financial security. You deserve it all, okay? You can have it all. So let's stop settling and let's start thriving. So we're going to cover all these today. How you can make that transition, the BA landscape, the AI business landscape, how to build wealth, monies by solving critical business problems with AI, and how to automate your job search and land way more interviews. Okay. So in summary, we're going to learn what's happening in the industry, how to do the job that's happening, how skill helps you get the job. Okay. And at the end, I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. I'm going to present you an offer to work with me and my team to land you a 6-figure role. Now, this is the same process that has helped over hundreds of our alumni land 6-figure jobs. Right now, we've helped over 200 people land jobs paying $100K or more. Our alumni income combined every single year is well over $200,000. Sorry, what am I saying? $20 million. $20 million every single year made by our alumni community that we know of. And that's incredible if you ask me. So we're trying to get to 100. I'm trying to get to 100 million every year in annual income across our community so we can get there together. I want you to be a part of that number. So who is this session for today? If you are a business professional who wants to pivot into tech and break into a high demand role, this is for you. Or maybe you're already in tech and you want to future-proof your career by understanding AI-driven innovation, that's for you. So you might be wondering, who even is this Mo guy? Who is this guy? My name is Mo. I'm a Nigerian tech professional, Nigerian Canadian. Came to Canada at 16 years old. My story started off with failure. Growing up as a kid, I used to sell CDs in Nigeria back home to rich kids. I would go to the wholesale store, buy CDs in bulk at a cheap price and sell them at a high price in school. And so I figured I would keep doing business. So I came to Canada to study commerce. And that was a business program. Didn't work out for me. I was so bored with all the accounting and the economics because I wanted to be the guy building things people loved, not the guy doing the books for those building things people love. And so as a result of that, I actually failed terribly. And my dad says, okay, well, you're an international student. You know how much your fees are? I said, how much are they, sir? He says, $20,000 a year. You've just thrown that down the drain and wasted that. Therefore, I'm shipping you back home to Nigeria. I was like, Dad, give me a second chance. I don't want to go back home. I like it in Canada. Help me out. So he then asked me, why did you fail? And I realized I failed because I didn't have a passion for what I was doing. And so we then looked at what my passions were. At the time, sounds like a joke, but my passion was playing video games, watching YouTube videos, kind of doing trading and selling stuff, right? Managing people, selling, and also rap music. I said, what can I do that combines these things? So I found a program at University of Toronto in IT and business. And that was a game changer for me. From then, I started going from scoring F's to scoring A's. And so that was my first lesson, because at that point it became so easy for me to be successful or to do my work because I had a passion. And so passion drives success. In fact, I was so good at my job once I finished school, I got promoted really fast into multiple different companies. And I became a VP of $100 million company at 26 years old. I then kept growing and I became a VP of $100 billion company at 29 years old. And even while growing, though, I realized that not a lot of people look like me at top tech companies, meaning they weren't black, and not a lot were minorities, so we're not women either. And so I said, well, why is it that tech, which has the highest income potential, has the least representation of my community? And that became my mission, to train more black professionals, more women, more immigrant minorities into tech. And so as a result of that, I started Skill Hat in 2021 with my colleagues. And since then, we've just been growing tremendously. We've trained thousands of people. And today is a free training for everyone in the room today who wants to level up and grow in their career. So welcome. We have a strong alumni community. Our alumni work at the top companies. We have people at banks like TD, Amazon, Loblaw. Here's some faces of real alumni. This is Ade, Shade, Ankit. These guys, and this is Abiola. These guys are all doing well in their dream role. So you name any company, we know somebody there, or we have trained people there. So the network is fantastic. I'm going to play a success story. We're going to look at a few success stories because the first thing I want you guys here to understand is that it's possible. So here's a success story of one of our alumni, Shade Reed. She did really well in the program. She was in the first ever cohort in 2021. After she did the program, she found a job in a really short time, in like 3 months or less. She bought a Mercedes. Okay. She bought a property, her first property in Lakeshore, Ontario. This is literally not heard of for a young black woman in Toronto, Canada. These things are pricey. But she did so well from her work, she was able to do that. And here's a quick testimonial from her. Now, I hope you guys can hear the audio. Okay, let's see if you can hear the audio. I hope y'all can hear it. Let's play this. I hope y'all heard that. If y'all heard that, then let me know in the chat, because I'm trying to test out these new systems. I'm streaming to LinkedIn right now, Instagram, YouTube, all at the same time. So let me know if y'all caught that. Okay. If you heard it, just put H in the chat for heard it. Okay. That's it today. Oh man, I'm hearing no sound. How is that there's no sound? Doesn't make sense to me because I could hear the whole thing. Okay, well, I hope y'all could read the captions. I apologize for that. I don't know how that happened. I got to figure out how to play with sound on StreamYard. Well, I guess next time y'all hear it. But she went from making $30K a year to $30K a month. Now, the second person I want to talk about is Yashika, right? They say that you can be successful and lead teams if you have an accent. You know, Yashika, really brilliant lady, interesting Indian accent, very, very smart. And she's gone from being an insurance advisor to now being a project coordinator and a senior scrum master at the bank. Really impressive going through our program and finding success. Another example is Precious. This is like 2 weeks ago, February 24th, taking the Skill Hat BA program and landing a fantastic job in an insurance company. Here's another one, Sabrina, European lady. She took the program, she got promoted in her job, and this is her sending her messages to the instructor Jerome about how she's been doing so well with her work, right? We have another one, Amina, who took training with us a while ago, about 5-6 years ago, is now an instructor and a coach and has just been crushing it. Bought a Range Rover, moved out to the US, bought a home. Fantastic story. Here's another one, Curtis. Now, I'm going to try to play Curtis's video in a different way. So please, y'all let me know if you can hear it. I'm going to present in a different way. Let's see if we can make this happen. So if I present, share screen, let's see if we can get the audio this time. So I'm going to present it says share the tab. Oh, there we go. I think I know what the issue is now. I think I figured it out. Okay. I figured it out. Let's try this again. Let's try this again with Curtis. It should work now. Okay. We're going to play this video. Called Curtis. Another example is the guy called Curtis. He was actually a plumber, but he wanted to become a project manager. So he took our program, and here's his amazing testimonial.
The last thing that Mo mentioned in the last class, it was a career coaching class. You said, apply for something in your expertise. What was I good at? Where am I a domain expert in? That's why I wanted to start. I wanted to land a full-time PM role. I utilized the tools you provided in the Google Drive. Simple as that. After we completed the course, I went through every document, everything you provided to us. Throughout our journey, I utilized the template and I mimicked that. Template for my resume. I feel really good where I'm in life right now. I'm in a good headspace. As I mentioned earlier, I have a work-life balance. I'm able to put my kids on the school bus in the morning. I'm able to go walking at the park with my wife before I start work in the morning. I don't sit in traffic anymore. I literally have a home office now.
If you're saying to yourself, I want to work on exciting, innovative projects and transform your professional life, then click the link below to book a call. I can't wait to see. All right, so that was Curtis. And I hope you guys heard that one. Thank you, Timmy, for letting me know you heard that. Okay, let's keep it going. And again, I'm showing y'all all these because I want to build that conviction in you that y'all can do it too. Here's another success story. Jasmine, February 22nd. She got 2 offers in 2 weeks following our process in our program. Jasmine is now crushing it in her new role. So congrats to Jasmine. And now we're going to bring on somebody on stage. We're going to bring Jean. Jean is one of our alumni. Very proud of Jean. I always loved Jean from day one. Very active in class. She took the Agile project management program, and now she is writing her success story in a new role. Let's welcome Jean to the room. How you doing, Jean?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad at all. You can hear us all good?
I can hear you good.
Good, and I hope y'all can hear Jean. So Jean, welcome to the room.
Thank
Today
you.
we're talking about how to fast track to a 6-figure career using tech skills. Now that's what you did, right? So congrats on that.
Exactly.
Tell us about what you do for a living right now.
Okay, so I am currently a Scrum Master at an ad tech company.
Awesome. Tell us about what you were doing before you got into being a Scrum Master and your background. Sure. Maybe walk us through your educational background and your work experience leading up to you then becoming a Scrum Master in tech.
Sure. So I have a bachelor's in social work. So before getting into tech, I was a social worker. And my last job was I was working at the school board. But, I've been a social worker for I think about 10 years, and it was just getting to the point where I was burnt out. And because I don't have my master's, I feel like within the social work field, there's only so high you can go without your master's. And I was kind of at that top level.
Sounds good. So what was the challenge exactly with the social work that made you so burnt out?
I think it was a lot of traveling. So I would have to travel a lot to well, depending on the role I had, I'd have to travel to clients' house or community spaces. So a lot of traveling. Some of the organizations I worked for was very heavily micromanaged, like the school board. And it's just a field that I feel like if you're in it for a long time, you get burnt out because of, a lot of the trauma that your clients experience and some of that thing. So I felt like I just wasn't happy in that role anymore.
It was taking a toll on you emotionally.
Exactly.
Got you. So right now you're a scrum master. Are you happier than before when you were a social worker?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love my role. I'm so happy.
So tell us about that. What are you doing day to day in your role as a scrum master?
Sure. So in my day-to-day role, so I first and foremost, I'm a scrum master for two teams. So I manage two teams. We build products. So I work with my team and I facilitate scrum events, essentially to ensure that my team can work towards the goal of deploying certain features and eventually releasing it to our clients. So that's pretty much what I do. Um, it's really something that you're working with a team. Like it's a lot of collaboration with the team. I feel like a lot of the times when people hear Scrum Master, they feel that a Scrum Master is like a manager or the boss, but it's really not. You're really just facilitating events and working with your team to ensure that they are producing, whatever project or product that you're working towards.
Sounds good. What about it makes you happier than before?
I number there's no micromanaging. Also, it's a lot of collaboratory things with your team. Team members are great. I have no issues with my team members. I feel like management is really welcoming in terms of like different ideas that we have. Um, and it's just a lot of teamwork, and I feel like you don't have the burden of taking on, like issues that I was taking on from my other role. So I like that change. Also, it's remote or not remote, sorry, hybrid. So before my job, I was always on the road. It wasn't remote. So I like that aspect as well. So it gives me more time for like my family.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. So you're a woman, you have family, you have children, you have a kid, and you have a husband. How does working remote, how does that help you with your day-to-day life, and how important is that to you versus being on site 100% of the time and traveling as well?
It has helped me a lot because now, for example, the days that I work from home, like I don't have to rush all the time. I'm able to drop my son at daycare and pick him up on time. I'm not really stressed. So having that time where I can work from home and remove the stressors of like commuting every day is really helpful.
That's awesome. So we just covered where you were. You're a social worker. What programs or training did you take to be able to learn to become a Scrum Master? Could you walk us through that process?
Sure. So obviously the first course that I took was through Skill Hat. So I took the Agile Project Management course. So I guess like the theory-based course, which I believe that one is 11 or 12 weeks.
Yeah, about that.
Um, After I took that, I then went on to take the Tech Accelerator, which I believe is 9 weeks. And because I took the Agile Project Management course. The role that I played was Scrum Master. And I think it's really important. I will always like vouch for taking the Tech Accelerator after you finish the Agile Project Management course or whatever course you choose because it also gives you like hands-on experience. So after I finished the Tech Accelerator, I then went on to obtain my CSM. So I got my Certified Scrum Master certificate. And then I also obtained my Safe Six certification. So that's my SSM. So those are two additional certifications that I decided to take after taking the Skill Hat programs because I feel like it's not enough just to take courses. You want to stand out in such a competitive field, right? So, and also continuous learning is very important. So, apart from taking those certifications after the Skill Hat program, I constantly was learning. I went on YouTube, was reading. I also like made an account on Jira to like practice and things of that sort.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So you were able to find success in a job market that's tough right now. Everyone talks about how the market's really tough. People are struggling to articulate their value and land positions. So what steps do you think that you took to stand out in this competitive market and land your offer?
Sure. So the first step that I took after I took the Skill Hat courses was going on to further obtain certification. So getting CSM certified as well as Safe Six certified. An additional step that I took, which was really important, and which I know for a fact is what landed me the role, was interview preparation. So not only did I prepare for the interview, looking at interview questions and whatnot, but I prepared a 30, 60, 90-day plan, which is something Mo actually told me about. Essentially, what it is it's a document that you prepared that highlights what you would do in that role for the first 30, 60, or 90 days. And honestly, AI is your best friend. So what I did is I copy and pasted the job description and then I put it into ChatGPT. Said create me a 30, 60, 90-day plan. And then I used that and then tailored it specifically, made changes to the document. And then you can use an AI tool to kind of create a presentation for you, but I just kind of decided to make a PowerPoint presentation for myself. And that I know for a fact landed me the job because they were really impressed by that. So that's something that definitely made me stand out from other candidates.
So the one thing you mentioned that helped you stand out was a 90-day plan. I don't think everyone
Mhm.
understands the power and the value of it. Like I tell people all the time, I've been preaching about this for a year and a half now since AI came out, but you took action. So congrats on that. What else did you say that helped you stand out? I mean, I think I missed something else, but that was the main thing.
That was the main thing, but also like in terms of getting the actual role.
I think you talked about
Yes.
getting certified, getting the 90-day.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share?
Uh, that made me stand. I would I would practice a lot. Like I would practice interview questions a lot using different AI tools. I think Mo actually recently posted about it on probably the Skill Hat page. There is another tool that I used in terms of like preparing my resume. I think it's like something I forgot. It's an AI tool, but I used a lot of AI to kind of assist me with making sure my resume stand out, making sure I went above and beyond by preparing that 90-day plan document and just ensuring that I was certified.
Awesome, awesome. So the training you got and working hands-on at Skill Hat really prepared you for success. Let's talk a bit more about that. You were in the accelerator. Tell us about
Yeah.
what you built in that program, who you built it with, and how that helped you be successful in your full-time job as a Scrum Master.
Sure. So, in the accelerator program, my team built an app called HomeFlow, which is it's a parenting app tailored towards obviously parents to help with like planning their day-to-day life. And I feel like that helped me. Sorry, was the second part of the question how that it helped
Yes,
me in my
exactly.
current role?
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that helped me in my current role is because, as I mentioned, I played the role of a Scrum Master, and I was in the accelerator. I was facilitating the daily scrums. I was facilitating sprint planning, sprint retro, sprint review, backlog refinement sessions. So I actually did what like a Scrum Master would do. So being able to play the role during the tech accelerator and bringing those elements into my current role is has helped me tremendously using different tools such as Confluence, Jira. Is literally those are the same tools that we use at my job right now. Tools for collaboration like Mural, I use that tool in my job right now. So literally everything that I did in the tech accelerator has helped me in this role. And because of that, I feel confident. If I didn't take the tech accelerator, I don't think I would be as confident as I am because I'm literally doing what I did in the tech accelerator.
That's incredible. I love that story, and that's why we built that program. So for those who are watching and who would just join, Jean, we're very proud of her here at Skill Hat. She's an alum. She took the Skill Hat Agile Project Management course, and then she took the Tech Accelerator, where she built a product with a team. That team included developers, designers, and she was a Scrum Master working with a product manager. They had a fantastic product. I still remember that product called
We
HomeFlow.
came in second. Yeah, we came in second place.
Yeah, they had a really good product that helped mothers and parents with scheduling of the home activities, automation of the planning, using AI to say, based on your baby's age, here's the schedule they have to go through the day. And as the kid would grow, it would adapt to the kid's schedule. Fantastic product they built. She's making the point that she got a full-time Scrum Master job after that experience, and she's very confident in the role because she's done it at Skill Hat. And that's something I wanted you guys who are listening to be aware of, is that in tech, and June, I'm sure you can attest to this, in the interviews, were they asking you questions about what you learned in class or questions about what you've done at work? Which one was it in the interview?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
In the job interviews, were you getting questions about what you learned in class, or more so questions about how you've applied what you learned on a job?
How I've applied what I've learned on a job. So literally, like I said, everything from the tech accelerator, I was able to use that to apply to the job interview. If I didn't take the tech accelerator and I took the only the agile project management course, I wouldn't be as confident because I didn't have that hands-on experience, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's one of the tips that we'll leave you with as Gene leaves shortly is you want to get as much hands-on experience as possible while you're trying to make a transition into any role that you're trying to get into. Why would anybody pay you $100,000 a year to do something that they don't think you can do or you haven't done before? Right? You have to do the work before the job. And so my last question to you, Gene, is beyond that last piece of advice. For those who are watching this masterclass today, we have 25 people in here right now, and a lot will watch the replay after this. What if they're not sure about how they can land a great role, or maybe they face multiple rejections? What advice can you offer them on how to get in the right mindset to attract the role and to claim that role that they want for themselves?
Okay, my biggest thing is like don't give up. Like that's the main thing. Like I know firsthand what rejection looks like. It took me 9 months to land this job, right? Mind you, I didn't start applying right after I finished because I was on maternity leave, but it did take me quite some time. The field is very competitive, but you just don't give up. I think it's important to keep pushing forward and just manifest that like I'm gonna get the job that I want because I can do it and I deserve it. So just having that mindset and mentality will really help you. And like a little really quick backstory of like my journey. When I started with Skill Hat with the Agile Project Management course particularly, I was like working full time, as you know. I was pregnant and I was sick because I was pregnant, but like I still managed to pull through and finish, the Agile Project Management course. And then during the Tech Accelerator, it's funny, like I literally gave birth during the accelerator. So I took a week off and then I came back. A lot of people probably wouldn't. I came back half the time my son was like I was with my son on Zoom doing like facilitating scrum events and whatnot, but like I made it work and I followed through and I pushed through because I was determined. And then, like I said, I was on mat leave. So halfway through my mat leave, I was like constantly like actively searching for jobs. And because I had that time, like I didn't like every single day, I would be like looking for jobs every single day. So just don't give up. And if it's something that you really want, I don't think you'll give up. You will keep pushing until you get that opportunity and it will come eventually.
Incredible. Wow. I didn't I remember this, but like hearing you say it now, it's just incredible. You gave birth while in the program and you continued
Yeah.
this up. Wow. Let's
Hmm.
give a round of applause for those who are watching. Just say congrats to her. She deserves every success that she gets. So congratulations, Jean. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So we're gonna remove Jean from the stage, and we're gonna continue our presentation. Uh, yeah, I'm just blown away. So congrats again, Jean. Let me continue the presentation. So we are talking about how to go from administrator or customer service or any non-tech role into tech professionals, or into a tech professional. So we have three kinds of people in here, right? One, people who will listen and do nothing different, maybe because it's not a fit for you or it's not the right time, and that's totally fine if that's you. And we have some people who are going to listen and take action to achieve the goals on their own, going through YouTube University, doing it through different channels, working with friends, and you can do that. Everything I'm giving you today is free game. You can apply this by yourself. Now, the third group are those who want to get it done faster. They want a coach to work with them. They want a community. And this is the third batch of people who I love to work with directly. Now, my advice to you is to remove all distraction, first of all. Two, start applying what you learned right away within 24 hours. And three, take detailed notes. Okay? Take detailed notes um, as much as you can. And at the end, I'll give you an exclusive bonus. So here's the first game changer. Okay, this is like the first piece of game changing advice I'm going to give today. The highest value professionals, okay, and the highest compensated are people who are change agents working on the system, not in the system. This line is probably the first thing I want you to understand today. So are you working in the system or on the system? Are you on the front line or a change agent? And that's the first thing I want to share with you today. Working on the system makes you more valuable. Let me explain. Business analysts, project managers, and other tech professionals who get paid more than the average perform similar tasks, but get paid more. Why? It's because our work creates what's called new organizational capability. We help businesses deliver more than they could without us through change. Let's look at an example, right? So let's say a customer is trying to watch the Super Bowl at home. A person's trying to watch a football game at home. And they turn their cable on and they see, oh, somehow I can't seem to watch. Cable is just shut off. And they're pissed off. So they call the customer service line and they say, hey, what happened? I couldn't watch my cable right now. And they say, oh, well, you didn't pay your phone bill. You didn't pay your internet bill. And they're like, oh, what the hell? Okay, whatever. Process the payment. And then the customer service person processes the payment after getting cursed out by the customer who's unhappy that the system went down. Now, if that company says, okay, we're happy, we solved the problem, customer is happy, CSR, customer service rep is happy, but this is happening across thousands of customers where they have a card in the system, but our system is not processing the payments effectively, or somehow we don't even have a recurring payment system and we have to make it recurring so it's automatic. Let's fix that problem. So they bring in a BA to fix that problem, right? So now that BA is talking to the same customer, right, to elicit requirements as part of a payment process improvement project. In that situation, the BA and the project manager will get paid between $40 to $100 an hour to have a conversation with that same customer. So the question is, why is it that a BA or a project manager talking to a customer gets paid $100 an hour to have a conversation with a customer, whereas a customer service rep gets paid between $16 to $30 an hour to talk to that same customer? Why? Why is that? Well, that's what we want to talk about today, how to increase your value. The difference is the BA or project manager is what's called a change agent, whereas the customer service rep is a frontline staff member. Now, change agents make double or even triple the income of a frontline worker. And the reason is because, one, the strategic nature of the work versus reactive nature of the other piece of work. And so a customer service rep, a CSR, focuses on transitional tasks, processing payments, resolving billing, providing assistance. The role is reactive. You're reacting to the customer's needs versus a more proactive role or strategic role. Now, when I say reactive, what I mean is the customer service rep is following a predefined protocol. They're following an SOP, a standard operating procedure defined by another change agent, right? Whereas the BA, the change agent, is focused on more strategic tasks, which means they're analyzing the business process. They are identifying inefficiencies. They're getting requirements. They're designing solutions to improve the overall business system and implement technology. The role is more proactive because it requires critical thinking and long-term impact analysis. Therefore, because of the nature of the work, it's valued more because it's more complex and it creates more value. And that's the next point. It creates more value. So why is the BA creating more value than the customer service rep? Well, because the customer service rep provides immediate short-term value, quick value, short-term, by helping one customer complete one transaction, helping one customer reset their password, right? The impact of your work is limited to that one interaction with that one customer. Now, on the flip side, a BA, a change agent, creates a long-term scalable value by designing systems and designing processes that reduce errors, improve efficiency, and enhance the customer experience for thousands or millions of customers, right? So the higher value of the work by designing systems, designing processes that affect thousands of people makes the work more valuable by nature. And it's not even up to thousands. It could be like in my last BA role, I was responsible to design the process that we use to renew insurance deals for a team. So my own BA and project team, it was like 19 people. But I was paid a ton of money to design an internal process across 19 people. Now, of course, the 19 people's customers were probably close to, I think it was like $150 million in annual revenue that team was managing. So the impact of my work helps 19 people, which then helps thousands of customers down the line and protects and retains $150 million in annual revenue for that business unit. And so the nature of the work, of the value we create as BAs, change agents, PMs is higher. The third thing I'll mention real quick is the problem solving piece. So the CSR, the customer service rep, the frontline worker is solving individual problems, but not analyzing and preventing systemic issues. Whereas the change agent, the BA, will diagnose what is the real root cause of this problem? How do I solve this problem now to prevent recurrence and improve the business process? So what that means is you should ask yourself, if you're at work right now, or at work on Monday morning, tomorrow morning, when you get to work, ask yourself, am I solving problems or making changes or taking actions that solve a problem right now, but does not prevent systemic issues? Or am I solving problems that at the level at which I solve them, they will stop happening? Meaning, am I preventing the root cause of the problem and preventing from ever happening again? Am I working on the system or in the system? If I solve this problem right now, will it go away forever? People who solve problems that go away forever and impact the way the overall company works are paid a lot more. They're change agents. Okay. And so that's what I want you to be aware about. Okay. You have to be aware of the difference between a frontline worker and a change agent. And that is the first thing to think through in increasing your income and making your time worth more. So roles that work on the system, because you have to be given the opportunity. You have roles like business analyst, project manager, product manager, process improvement. Another role I'm going to add here is actually a role we're kicking off training for, which is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity analyst, GRC. This is a role that I'll talk about next week on our next webinar. Okay, so these roles are typically in a position to change the systems: automation, cybersecurity, BA, project manager, product manager. This is how to get in a position to be a change agent. Now, you may be in customer service right now. You may be a recruiter and you're saying, how do I increase my value? First, you want to do more change agent work. That's what you want to do. In your current role today, how can you become a change agent? How can you start doing more strategic work and not transactional work? How can you start creating more value and solving systemic issues? And then two, you want to reframe how you describe your work to earn more change agent opportunities. You want to earn more change agent, and change agent work is given to people who already are acting like change agents. So you want to reframe how you describe your work and then do more change agent work. So I'm going to break this down. I have never broken this down in a webinar before. So I'm going to break this down in detail. So let me show you this real quick. I'm going to share a different screen that talks about how to actually do it. Okay. If that first part was clear, we got value from that, and it was clear to you the difference between a change agent and a frontline worker, do me a favor, put a C in the chat. Let me know that was clear to you and that was valuable, so I know you guys are following. Okay. And that will position me for the next part of how to actually do it, how to actually switch to that change agent work. Okay. I see a C from Mercy, from Richard, from Tiffany. Fantastic. So this part is a Word document. I didn't get a chance to convert to a PowerPoint. I always do. But I figured you guys could just rock with me on this one. Okay. How to actually do more change agent work in your current role. It's not about your title. It's more about your mindset. Are you executing tasks or are you improving systems? Right? If you want to level up, think about how can you transform, okay, how can you transform business processes as opposed to just following a process? Let's use the example of a recruiter. Okay. Now, a recruiter has an opportunity to be both a frontline worker or a change agent, but it all depends on how they approach their role. So let's talk about that. Now, in many cases, recruiters operate as frontline workers because they execute established hiring processes. They're screening resumes, they're doing interviews. It's a process that's been determined by somebody else. Or they're following predefined workflows, they're working on short-term goals, they're hiring specific roles. So they're posting job ads, scheduling interviews, conducting screenings. These are all frontline transactional tasks. Okay. Now, that same recruiter could become a change agent when they choose to redesign recruitment processes to make hiring faster, more inclusive, more effective. Okay, so pay attention here. The same person can become a better change agent in the way they do the work. They can also analyze hiring trends and try to develop a way to become adaptive to the market based on data. They can also implement technology in the company, implementing new AI tools for resume screening and interview scheduling. Now, this is change agent because I changed the process, I changed the technology in the company, and then forever we have this benefit of automation or a streamlined process, right? They can also influence the company culture, right, by setting how the company does things, building work systems, SOPs, etc. So that's an example of how a recruiter can switch to change agent work. Again, introduce new technology where you work. Okay. Design strategy to achieve business goals. Develop business processes, for example. And that's how the recruiter will do it. So any kind of frontline worker will transition or can make that transition to a change agent by shifting your focus from filling jobs to designing strategies, solving problems to designing strategies, and then using data to influence business decisions, learning the tools and systems for the job, and then getting certified. Okay, that's how it is done. That is how you switch or transition to a change agent from a frontline worker. Okay, now let's look at a situation where maybe you're not even working right now. Maybe you are in a situation where you have been a frontline worker and you want to land a position as a product manager, a UX designer, but you don't even know how to talk about your work as change agent. Let me show you. This is a trick here, so pay attention here. Number one, you have to frame your role as process-oriented and analytical. So as opposed to emphasizing day-to-day tasks like solving customer issues, processing payments, talk about identifying patterns, resolving systemic issues, and improving how the workflow is done. For example, let's say you go into an interview or CSR. As opposed to saying, I handled 50 plus customer calls daily to process payments, that's cool. It sounds like high value, but a higher value work will be saying, I analyzed the payment errors to identify inefficiencies, collaborated with IT and billing to reduce errors. So in this, you're dealing with one-by-one transactions. If you stop and leave, the system errors continue or the customer issues continue. And someone else is just brought in to solve the same problem. Whereas here, you're saying, I looked at the errors, I found the inefficiencies, and I collaborated with technology to resolve the errors. So overall, we probably went from 50 errors a day to 10 errors a day, which means we've created more efficiency for the company. Make sense? If that makes sense so far, put an M in the chat for make sense. Like you get it, right? So framing the role, framing your story from process-oriented to more, framing your role as process-oriented, pardon me, right? As opposed to transactional. Okay, good to see that, William, Woman, Martin, appreciate that. Lets me know you guys are following. As you guys know, I run my Zoom sessions live. So this is StreamYard, we're streaming, so I can't tell folks I fell asleep or not, or you guys are locked in. So good to see. Now, the second is You want to demonstrate collaboration with stakeholders and cross-functional teams. And why is this important? This is important because every big project requires a team. You cannot do things alone, and you can't achieve a big thing alone. And so if you're going into a role that's going to pay a lot of money to achieve a big thing, you bet your bottom dollar it's a team-based effort. And so you want to showcase to the employer that you already lead and collaborate with teams. And so showcase, so don't just talk about being a customer service rep, dealing with phone calls all alone, or an accountant dealing with books all alone. Talk about being a change agent, changing with the team. Very important. So you want to showcase any collaboration with IT, operations, or leadership to implement process changes. So for example, if a CSR is talking about their work, they can say, I escalated technical issues to the IT team. That's not bad. You found an issue, you call IT, IT go fix the issue. But a person who gets paid more will say, I partnered with IT and operations to analyze and document the recurring technical issues. I then contributed to drafting the requirements to say, how do we solve the issue? How do we enhance the system? And I also helped to test, once they've built the solution, I tested it to ensure it met the problem or solved the problem. Do you see that? That's a whole different way of saying I was a part of the solution by finding it, documenting it, and testing it and rolling it out versus saying, I saw an issue and I told IT to fix the issue. Huge game changer in how you position yourself in the interview to earn more higher paying roles. Number 3, this is where so if you guys got the collaboration and it was clear, put collaboration in the chat. That's how I know you guys are following. Type that in the chat, collaboration. That is how you earn more high paying roles, by talking about yourself as a collaborator, as a change agent. Number 3, highlight more problem solving and root cause analysis. So describe situations where you didn't just solve a problem, but you analyze the root cause. Now, why is that important? It's important because every problem has a root cause. And so if you can solve a problem today in company A by figuring out the root cause, solving that root cause, then it means you can do it again in company B. And so if you were talking to me about how you were in a company, you solved an issue, you found the root cause, and you solved it permanently, talk about that, right? So as opposed to saying I resolved a customer who complained to me that their payment failed, you want to say I investigated the root causes of all the failed payments using CRM data. I proposed a system enhancement to reduce failures, and I improved customer satisfaction score. This is key. Every business has a problem today. Every business has to solve one thing that is a constraint in that business, and that once that constraint is removed, the business will grow, right? It could be a constraint in your manufacturing process, a lower quality issue. It could be a variability issue. It could be not enough team members. It could be a lack of data. There always is a root cause or a constraint in any business that prevents them from growing. And so being able to find the root cause of an issue is actually a very important skill set in itself. So talk about that a lot. That's number 3. Okay, what was number 1? I forgot. Let's go back. Number 1 was talking about being process-oriented and analytical, right? Systemic issues. Number 2 was talking about collaboration. Number 3 is talking about finding root causes and solving root causes. Number 4 is focus on process documentation and improvements, right? So if you've ever written any kind of guide, SOP, FAQs, training materials, that's great. Position that as process documentation. Because every company, what is a company? A company is a combination of unique processes, right? What is McDonald's? McDonald's buys real estate, picks it up, put a sign there, hire people, get suppliers to supply the food, train the team on how to sell, and then they open up and then they sell. That's the process. So every single company is a combination of multiple business processes. But in order to scale a business, think about McDonald's. They have millions of locations across the world, but it's the same process. You order a McDonald's burger in Tokyo, it tastes the same as a burger in San Francisco. Why? Because of what's highlighted, process documentation. It's been documented how to make a burger, how to make a Big Mac, how to make a Whopper. It's a process that's documented. So anytime you have documented business process, use that in positioning yourself as a change agent. So, for example, as opposed to saying, I wrote scripts for handling billing disputes, which is actually even not bad. You want to say, I developed an SOP, a standard operating procedure and process workflow, right, to handle billing disputes and reduce training time by X%. This is another piece I don't think I've highlighted, which is you want to quantify your impact. I always feel like this is a whole number 7 or whatever. Like that's another one. Quantify the impact of your work, right? So don't just tell me I developed a website. You want to say I built a website that now processes 10K payments per second, right? And helps the company make $10 million a month, right? Frame the impact of your work in your storytelling. But of course, the main point here was actually about talking about documentation. Okay, talk about that in your interviews. Okay, if you got that, write doc or documentation in the chat. I know you got that one. Number 5 is learn and use the industry tools and technologies, right? Any experience you have with tools like CRMs, Salesforce, HubSpot, data visualization tools, Excel, Tableau, ticketing systems, Zendesk, ServiceNow, that demonstrates tech proficiency. So as much as possible, utilize that. So for example, as opposed to saying as a CRM, as a CSR, I updated customer records in the CRM. Instead, you want to say, I utilize Salesforce CRM to monitor customer interactions, extract data for trend analysis, and create reports to identify opportunities for process optimization, right? So you're making the point that not only are you just looking at the CRM and putting data in there, you are actually getting data out from the system, analyzing the trend, and using that trend analysis to identify root cause and improve the business. Whole different level from saying I did data entry in the CRM, right? And this number 6, I think, is duplicated, but I think it's valuable actually. This is more so talking about impact and knowledge. And this is very important. Every business process that gets changed in a business, people need to be informed and trained on that new business process. And that's what we do as change agents. We don't just make a change on a document. We actually implement that change by hosting webinars like I'm hosting right now. If you worked at the bank, at TD Bank, and you roll out some new AI system, or let's look at Walmart. As you guys know, Walmart has now rolled out self-checkouts in all their stores. So if you were a part of that team who rolled out self-checkouts, you want to not just place the self-checkouts in the stores to walk away. You're going to train people, right? You're going to train the cashiers, the accounting team, the security team, because now the business process changes. Now the business process is they go self-checkout, show the receipt at the door, right? There's cameras to check if they don't steal their stuff. People go through self-checkout and they'll scan an orange, take a PlayStation 5 home, right? And so talking about training others is very valuable as a change agent. So you want to talk about that in interviews and say, well, I build training materials. I train the team members. So for example, this is not even bad, right? Saying I train my colleagues, but you want to go above and beyond and say, I develop training materials and process guides, reducing new hire onboarding time by 25%. And I'm going to add a number 7, which is quantify the impact of your work. This is very important. A lot of people come to me and they say they did work at a company, but if you can't quantify the impact of your work in dollars and cents, right? Meaning you're quantifying the impact in dollars and cents. Well, that's your business benefits, which means revenue, incremental revenue, costs, savings, efficiency. This is what you want to do. You want to be able to say, I help the business make more money. I help the business make $10,000 extra a year or a month. Or I help them save money. I help them save money on this license by moving to a better technology. Or I help them become more efficient by doing X and Y. This is what you want to talk about in interviews to position yourself as the change agent. So let's recap. If you are trying to reframe your story to earn higher paying roles, you must position yourself as a change agent. Number one, to do that, frame your story as process oriented, talking about how you change the business process to make it better. Number two, talk about collaboration with stakeholders. Number three, highlight root cause analysis in problem solving. Number four, focus on process documentation and improvements. Okay, documentation. Number five, learn and use industry tools and talk about that in the interviews. Number six, highlight any training you've been a part of. Number seven, ensure that as you tell the story, you quantify the impact of your work. Okay, so by reframing everyday tasks as process improvements, root cause analysis, and stakeholder collaboration, frontline workers like CSRs, recruiters can position themselves as problem solvers to bridge the gap and land change agent roles. Okay. In addition, you want to get certified. And that's it. That was the first piece in how to increase your value by doing more change agent work. Okay. Now, if that was valuable for you, you got some value out of that, put a V in the chat for me. If that last piece was valuable for you, you got some value from that, put the letter V in the chat for me. Okay. Now, that was the first part, transitioning from the frontline worker mentality to change agent to be able to attract more income. Now, for those who are just joining, welcome to the masterclass. We've been about an hour in. This is a masterclass to fast track to a high-paying six-figure career using tech skills and AI skills. A lot of us came a little bit late. I apologize. Due to daylight savings, there was an error. When we made the event, I think it was the day that daylight savings happened. And so we set it for 4 p.m. Eastern, but I think it was put there as 5 p.m. Eastern due to daylight savings. There was an error. And so some folks are just joining now because it's 5 p.m. now. So welcome. If you're just joining now, the first part you missed was very important, but I guarantee the next part will still be very valuable. The first part you missed was an interview with a Scrum Master on how she transitioned from a social worker to an IT Scrum Master, now making over 100K a year to double her income. And then the next part we're going to talk about is now the step-by-step roadmap to landing a job in the AI space as an AI project manager or AI BA, where you don't have to code, but you can implement AI in businesses. So if you're saying to yourself, like, I want to be a change agent, in which direction do I help businesses change? Well, what's happening right now is that every business is transitioning and changing to leveraging AI. That's what's happening. What if I told you that the fastest way to build wealth is not by working harder, not anymore, but by solving high value problems? The higher the value of problem you solve, the more you get paid. Okay. I'll use an analogy. If you teach somebody how to drive the first time, they don't know how to drive. You help them drive the first time. That's like a driving school, right? How much do the guys charge? $300, $500 for a week and a half, 2 weeks of driving. It's a lot of work. Customer pays, customer is happy, but there's a higher value problem that you can teach with your skill set. However, if you instead help a Formula One F1 driver who drives in the races finish a lap 5 seconds faster versus whatever they're doing today, that's probably worth $1 million. Think about that. If you help a Formula One driver drive a lap 5 seconds faster, that's worth $1 million versus helping a guy learn how to drive the first time, which is $500. And so what does that mean? That means that you have to figure out higher value problems to solve. And the best part of today is that we can solve higher value problems leveraging AI, right? That's the good news. Shout out to O'Neill. O'Neill says, you've missed so much. Don't worry. You will have the recording, and please stay, I'm live. This is not a recording. I'm live right here. So at the end, I'll get to answer your questions. And the first part was very valuable. You have the recording, but I guarantee if you stay, you will get tremendous amount of value that you would not get if you leave. So you have to stay. Okay. So let's talk about how to find higher value problems and how we solve those using AI. AI helps you solve problems faster, cheaper, and at scale. So right now, the biggest opportunity to build wealth without starting a business is working in tech remotely and implementing AI in businesses. Because we're seeing that 75% of businesses plan to adopt AI because it automates repetitive work, it cuts costs, and it creates efficiency. So everybody wants in. So therefore, this shift is happening with or without you. So you want to be a change agent helping companies implement technology, especially implementing AI. Okay. Now, the truth is that this is a revolution. It's the fourth industrial revolution. Okay. It's creating millions of jobs, but also taking away jobs in customer service, in data entry and retail. Okay. So the data shows that AI will create 69 million new jobs, but eliminate 83 million jobs. Therefore, creating a net loss of 14 million jobs. So we want to be on the side of jobs that get created and not the jobs that get lost. And so companies need AI BAs, AI project managers, okay? Because the jobs least likely to be automated are those that require complex human coordination, strategic thinking, and interpersonal skills. These are things that AI cannot do. AI will not run meetings effectively with human beings talking over each other, and AI does not have interpersonal skills to deal with people. So we want to build team alignment. We want to create business value from technical complexity. Okay. Now, here are 6 functions being automated right now by AI that you can help businesses actually automate. Number 1, customer service. Businesses are looking to automate that customer service function with AI chatbots and AI sales agents. Number 2, data entry, right? Like think about number 1. And many of us hate when we call, if I call a phone service, if I call a service, any business, and they say, welcome to company Y, press 1 to speak with sales, press 2 to speak with billing. I'm pressing 0. Just talk to a real person as soon as I can. But right now, companies have an opportunity to implement AI that can talk to their customers in a smart way, like you're a real human. And so there's a lot of businesses today who are implementing AI sales agents and AI customer service chatbots, right? So what that means is they will train ChatGPT on their company data and business process. So when a customer comes and goes on their chat to request something, the AI can respond based on inventory of the company or based on what the company actually does and answer the question intelligently. So that's a role that you can help companies. That's the role that you can play in businesses as a project manager or BA to implement these technologies, because this is happening today. Another thing we're seeing is administration. So automating a business process. Every business has a process, like I said. So think about ScaleHat. If you enroll at ScaleHat, we have AI now that automates the business process and the AI workflows, meaning that whenever a customer presses buy, then they get an email receipt, they get added to Slack, they get sent an onboarding email, they get sent a package to your home saying welcome, like a t-shirt. That whole thing can be automated for businesses. Because right now you have administrators who are sending the manual email, sending out a survey, doing an intake form. That whole thing, you can have workflows using Zapier. If you've heard of Zapier, Zapier, that will automatically automate the emails going out, the shipment going out once the customer presses buy. Okay, so that's happening right now, automation. So you can be the person who helps businesses automate their business process. Number 3 is retail. We all see the AI, we all see self-checkouts and e-commerce happening. Number 4 is even accounting. Right now, we're seeing that AI is beating accountants and being able to take a bank statement and use that bank statement to make an accounting statement, like an income statement or cash flow forecast, right? Paralegals. We're also seeing that AI right now is able to beat experienced lawyers in creating a case in court. And then lastly, healthcare. Recently, I went to the hospital, and my doctor, if you guys know, doctors are notorious for having terrible handwriting because as you're telling them your issues, they're scribbling really, really fast and it looks very ugly. In fact, they give you a prescription and you can't even read what the prescription says. But right now, when I went to my doctor the last time, she had no writing happening. She had an AI transcriptor that was listening to what I was saying and giving her notes and transcribing in real time what my issue might be. Incredible, right? Somebody, some PM, some BA, some change agent helped that hospital implement that tool for the doctor, right? And we're seeing that doctors are actually more efficient with technology. So the data says that doctors will diagnose a sickness right about 60% of the time. AI will diagnose it correctly 70% of the time. But with the AI plus a real doctor, it's 80% success rate in diagnosis. And so clearly, every business is better implementing technology. And so if you are in the first 5 functions, customer service, data entry, retail, accounting, paralegal, it is time to pivot and find something else or get on the right side, right? And so for O'Neill's question, yes, it is being recorded. This whole thing is being recorded and it will be on YouTube and Zoom shortly. So, I mean, this is not new, right? We've seen a lot of jobs disappear. Travel agents, factory workers are not being replaced by robots. All these roles, right? Delivery of newspapers. These roles are not like they were before. This is not new. So the cycle evolves. So the key is to adapt and pivot. So we run a 2-step playbook. The first is I recommend that you land a high-paying job working at a large company and implementing AI tools. So stack your money, learn the skills, and build relationships. And then launch your own AI implementation agency. There's a guy I know called Jordan Lee who walks to any business and he will help them improve their business process using AI. He's making $500,000 a month right now doing this. But today is on the first step, how to land a high-paying job at a top tech company, improving their business process, implementing AI. Here are some roles we're seeing right now that are future-proof, right? AI project manager, making up to $150K a year. AI business analyst, making up to $120K a year. AI strategy consultant, automation specialist. They're all growing fast, and you can make a transition to these in 6 months or less. But why do businesses even need you? Like, here's a reminder. Number one, people hate change. People don't like the change. And so they need a change manager to implement change. Number two, in large companies, think about companies like Amazon. Amazon has, I think last I heard, they had 10 million plus employees. Like, that's a crazy number. 10 million employees in one company. How do you even change in that company? So they need change managers to implement change because you have different stakeholders with different interests. How do you align those interests, right? Number three, they need you because non-tech savvy people need to manage more carefully. So you will become the tech savvy person who can help the non-tech savvy employees upskill and learn the technology as you implement it. And then lastly, senior executives, VPs, directors, CEOs, they have multiple projects on the go. They need people who can execute these projects, meaning execution work, what that means as a PM, for example, you manage the people on the project, the developers, designers, vendors, right? You manage the schedule. We have a deadline. So the VP wants to go live on Christmas Day, meeting that deadline, right? Working backwards to get there. And then manage resources, money, right? What's the budget? How much are we paying each person? How much are we going to pay the vendors? So creating that budget and then managing that budget to quality. So they need you to execute. They need you more than you need them. That's the truth, right? Because when I was in my last role, I was getting paid $150K a year, but I was helping to manage a business unit making $150 million a year. So I think I'm getting paid $150K and I'm happy, but the business is making $150 million. from their business. And so they need you. Otherwise, they're cooked. They need you. Remember that. Now, there's AI-specific skills that we're going to be learning together. For example, AI-powered data analytics, so using AI to predict trends. AI reporting and automation, so using Power BI, ChatGPT to create dashboards to report on business activity. And then decision-making and AI-driven risk modeling. Okay, which these are more complex skills that we teach as you join our programs. Now, the demand for PMs and BAs is growing heavily, right? According to LinkedIn, the demand for BAs specifically is growing by 14% year on year. With average salaries between 85 and 120K, and we've seen people who took our programs make up to 150K, right? The top industries you're going to find these roles: finance and banking, healthcare, e-commerce and retail, technology, and also insurance. So how do you choose your career path? If you want to work on business growth and strategy, look into the BA, product manager, or product analyst role. If you love to work with data, you want to consider the data analyst or the AI-powered business analyst. If you enjoy optimizing workflows, we have a workflow workshop on Saturday coming up. If you enjoy doing some of that, looking to becoming a process analyst. And if you love to lead teams and lead initiatives like me, you want to be on the product management side or the project management side. I see a comment in the chat from my friend Salami. 1.5 million. Okay, so I was wrong on that number. Amazon has 1.5 million employees, not 10 million, which is still crazy. Walmart has 2 million employees. So, like, that's an army. There's some countries that don't even have 1 million people, right? Okay, so, let's look at some job descriptions on the AI business analyst. This one says they're looking for a skilled BA to join the team, to analyze requirements, identify areas of improvement, develop strategies. Day to day, you're collaborating to understand the needs, gather requirements, develop AI process models, propose process solutions, work with IT and departments to implement solutions to align with business goals, communicate whatever you find, make a recommendation, work to test the new system, and figure out how to improve process. Nowhere does it say this role requires you to learn how to code, but it pays up to $212K a year. You can get these opportunities, right? If you are interested in something like this, type me in the chat. If you would be interested in a job like this, type me in the chat. Okay. Another one at HCL. This was my vendor. Remember I mentioned I was working at a company before. My last role, this is the guys who was building technology for me, HCL. So HCL right now is looking for an AI project manager. This role pays up to 155K a year. Okay. Now this role is responsible to manage AI and governance certification, track project milestones and metrics, and build reports. Provide the team with direction and work closely to carry out assessments. Enable verification of responsible AI government practices and communicate effectively. They're asking you to just come and communicate, right? Skills: experience in responsible AI governance, risk, or compliance, which is what we train for at SkillHat with our cybersecurity GRC program. Proven track record in leading achievement of certifications, etc. So as you see, none of these roles require you to be, to have 10 plus years of experience. They pay quite well. And with only 4 to 6 months of training, you'll be in a position to future-proof your life and be successful. So here are the 5 steps to make that transition to an AI change agent job, even with no tech experience. Number 1, transform your mindset. So this is the crux of it. This is why we came here. The number 1 has been provided in the training already. So this is what you missed, O'Neill, how to make that transition. And it's a quick watch. As a matter of fact, the number 1, this transformation, I have the training in school. So if you're in the room and you want to learn with me consistently, everything I train on today, I've recorded videos already, and it's free. You can just go watch it on school. Okay, I'll show you where that is. Maybe I should do that right now. for those who are a little bit worried they missed the first part. Give me a second. Let me show you how to find that. So if you go into school, I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. There's a platform I've put together called the Thrive in Tech community. Many of you are already in there. It's a free community. I have 486 members in there where I provide free training and I provide free live classes. Okay, 100% free. I'll put the link in the chat. You can become a member. I'll put the link after, actually. Within school, if you go into the classroom section, you'll see all the free training on how to identify your career constraints, how to identify the right role for yourself, how to craft an effective resume using AI, how to land interviews. So Jean, the guest who joined in the morning, talked about how she got a 6-figure job practicing using AI tools to craft the interview. I break all that down here for free. There's video training in there. And number 5, how to get. So this is how to get the interview, and then this is how to crush the interview. So all that is free in school. Okay. So like I said, you can go in there after training for whatever you've missed. So let's continue. The first step in getting these AI change agent jobs is to transform your mindset. The second is to get AI business analysis and project management skills. These are fundamental skills that if you have BA skills and project management skills, you can use this to find any problem in a company and figure out the solution, collaborating with the team. And then you can use your project management skills to execute that solution and get it to success, right? These are fundamental skills that everyone should have. BA skills, project management skills. O'Neill, I will put the link at the end of the webinar. Number 3, learn how businesses can be improved using AI. I'm going to break that down for you. So I'm going to break down 2, 3, and 4, and 5 today, right? I've gone through number 1. Okay, and number 4 is to build a portfolio of valuable work experience. And number 5 is to then use AI to automate your job search and land high-paying roles. So take a photo of this one. This is my playbook to you to grow and land high-paying roles. Okay. All right. Now, one of the mentors in the community, Rob, he says that in 2025, if you're still putting proficient in Microsoft Office on your resume, you're cooked. It's like saying I have a pulse. Upgrade your skills or watch the world move on without you. Okay. So we've gone through step 1 already. Now, step 2 is fundamental skills. Now, as a BA or PM, you're going to bridge the gap between the business, what the business needs, and the technologies and the technical people to get that done. Okay. Now, as a project manager, you'll be doing things like leading projects, working with stakeholders, working with vendors, technical teams, managing risk, managing timeline, and integration. As a BA, you're more so defining what the actual problem is, defining how we can solve the problem, defining the requirements of the solution and the business needs, and then mapping out automation workflows. This is the difference. These are skills you want to learn. So on the PM side, it's more about resource management. BAs manage, or PMs manage people, time, and money. Whereas BAs manage requirements, which is scope, data, process, and quality. So again, on the project management side, you manage resources. So they both manage R's, the 2 R's. PM manages the R of resources. BA manages the R of requirements. And so resources, as a PM, means you're managing people, time, and money. As a BA, you're managing scope, data, process, and quality. Okay. Now, step 3 is to figure out business use cases and how businesses become more efficient and solve their business constraints with AI. Like I said, every business has a similar value chain and business processes. Starts with research, strategy, and positioning to say, what is our position in the market? Who are our competitors? How are we different? And then we build a product to solve that problem or a service. They get the market using marketing. We do some sales. We sell that product. We collect cash, or people buy online by themselves. Then we fulfill the service or the product. And then we have back office operations, finance, HR, and then we do customer service. Every business has a similar value chain from 1 to 7. But AI is reshaping every single function, right? You can use AI in marketing for marketing scripts now, and AI for marketing videos, and AI for content creation. For example, customer service, AI chatbots, AI inbound sales agents, for example, right? There's AI for HR now, for applicant tracking systems to automatically review your resume. So every single function can be improved. So your job is to figure out what function am I an expert at today, or am I interested in, and how can I become the expert to help businesses improve that function? That's what you should be asking yourself. Okay, let's do a quick case study. So let's assume we have a busy CEO with a team of 10 people. A team of 7 people. 6 of them are in sales, and 1 is in customer support. Now, each of the salespeople must take 10 customer phone calls every single day. And the CEO wants to ensure the team is doing this. And so to manage a team, the CEO has to ensure that the team is meeting their quota, ensure that they're telling the customers the right things at quality, and also find ways to improve. So how can the CEO go about this in the most efficient way? Okay, what do you guys think? How can the CEO go about this in the most efficient way? You can put in the chat, what are your thoughts on how the CEO can ensure the team meets their quota, are saying the right things at quality, and how can the CEO find ways that they can even improve their quality? I'll give you guys a few seconds to put your thoughts in the chat. O'Neill, you've been chatting a bit. I'm keen to see what you think. Richard, my guy, how you doing? Okay, so we have our first response. Omogbola says the CEO can appoint a team lead, have AI monitoring and management tools. Fantastic response. That would be a good one. So breaking the work down to have leaders, getting AI to monitor. Absolutely. I like that. What other responses do we have? What other answers do we have? What else can the CEO do? Let me share the screen with the answer. Give me a second. Let's go entire screen. Yeah. So what the CEO can do is, the answer is actually, the trick is that, the truth is that the CEO here was actually me. Okay, I used to spend hours managing my team. I'll have to listen to their sales calls. I had no idea what calls were good or bad. I just chose randomly because I didn't even know. But I would choose a call randomly at night, and while playing video games or hanging out with my wife, I would be listening to the calls. My wife would be getting pissed off with me and say, "Hey Mo, like, you're supposed to be hanging out with me, and why are you listening to your team's calls?" But I'm like, hey, I gotta make sure that they're doing work at quality. I have a team of 7 people. And so I did what Richard put in the chat, right? Use a CRM to track the conversations and implement AI. Absolutely. So I implemented a tool called Alaware AI. Now, what it does is it actually listens to the conversations from the team. It's incredible. Every single call that happens, if you call my team right now, the AI is listening to the call and will tell me end of the day in a report, say, hey Mo, in the past week, this is the AI responding to say we recorded, transcribed, and summarized 20,000 hours of conversations that happened in your company, right? Here's what happened. Outbound calls, call from Derek. Here's the topic. Here's the action. Here's the outcome. This is all AI driven. And I can see that the outcome was successful. He booked a consultation. This is the outcome. This is the outcome, right? This one wants to talk to her husband. This is all AI driven. Incredible. I think Miriam, it's funny, I think Miriam is actually in the chat right now. I think I saw Miriam in the room. Interesting. Here we go, Miriam. We've kind of exposed you. Oh, it's a different Miriam? I think it's the same Miriam. And at the end of the day, it gives me a report saying overall, your agents were doing a good job, but the contacts were they want more time to discuss with family, which is interesting. Follow-up actions to have more meetings, provide more resources to encourage your enrollment, and then how can I coach my team to be better, right? So as you see, this is now streaming the top agent by volume and talk time. This is incredible, right? What business doesn't want this? So you can walk into any business and help them implement these tools. Okay, so that was our first case study. What are your thoughts on that? That was an example of using AI in the sales and customer service process. If that was interesting to you, put an I in the chat if you found that interesting as we continue. And interesting, we actually hired one of our alumni at Skillhat, Seppi. She was a Skillhat alumni. We hired her back into the company to implement these AI tools. Okay. So that was step number 3. So step 1, change your mindset. Step 2, learn the fundamental PM and BA skills, and then the AI skills on top of that. Step 3, understand business process and how each function or the function you choose can be improved with AI tools and skills. And then step 4 is to build a portfolio. No one's going to give you a 6-figure job without being a 6-figure person. And what that means is you're showcasing, you've already done the work, you have the wins. And so, as many of you may have heard with the guest who came in, Jean, she talked about she worked in Skillhat as a Scrum Master. She built a product to work with a developer. So when she went into an interview, she had stories to tell. So I always recommend that you build that portfolio. Okay. And then step 5 is to okay, well, let's look at all the steps. Step 5 is to actually now use AI to automate your job search and land a high-paying role. So once you've gone through changing your mindset, getting the skills, understanding business context, having a portfolio of actually doing the work for free or volunteering, then you want to now use AI as well to automate your job search to land high-paying roles. So now, think of it like a funnel. Say you have all the skills, you have the experience. Success in the job market is a numbers game. It's like a funnel. The more stuff at the top that goes in, the more that goes down the bottom of the funnel, right? And so these are the stages, right? You have to have visibility to the right roles. You have to then apply. You have to then apply for these roles. Then you have the HR interview. You have the manager interview, the case study or the fit interview, and then you accept and negotiate. This is the same thing in most top roles. Okay. Now, if you want the secrets to more job offers, all you have to do is just fix these things I'm going to show you. So let's talk about how we can actually break down and have success in the job market. This is a post I put on LinkedIn. It's also on School. If you're not getting interviews, that's the beginning of the problem. If you have been looking for a job and you're not even getting interviews, then that's the biggest challenge. If you're getting interviews, something's right. If you're not getting interviews, there's something off with either the resume or where you're applying. So to fix that, number 1, I recommend AI tools like Apply All. Now, Apply All is a piece of software that we have at Skillhat. We've partnered with them. It's AI that can apply to multiple jobs for you with no effort. So you're sitting there, you put your resume in the app, and Apply All will actually apply for jobs for you. Let me share my screen with that. So I'll put the link. Well, everyone at Skillhat, so all Skillhat alumni will automatically get Apply All. So this is Apply All. It'll apply to roles for you. Okay. As you'll see, this is the people who are like sharing the roles that apply all one. An interesting story. We actually used it. One of our alumni used it, and she was applying for jobs for 7 weeks, 0 interviews. She used apply all, and within 2 weeks, she got 4 interviews for director of product manager roles. So it's very good software. We recommend it. And of course, all the other advice here. But the one I want to highlight is networking. If you're not getting interviews, you want to network a little bit more to get more context, make more relationships. And then there's one called video prospecting. This is where you send a video to a hiring manager. I break all this down within school. Okay, all this stuff is broken down within school, which I'll share a link after. Now, if you're getting interviews and you're stuck at the HR screening stage, it's probably the solution is to build rapport with recruiters and be excited about the company and the role. Okay. In the HR stage, all they want to know is, are you personable? Are you a company culture? And do you feel, is what you put on the resume aligned to who you are and when they speak to you? As long as you can maintain that with excitement and rapport, you should be good to move to the next stage, which is a hiring manager. Okay. Now, the number one tip I can provide to anybody and everybody on how to impress the hiring manager is to show up to the interview with an actual plan. Show up saying, here's my plan. Here is how I'm going to hit the ground running in my first 30, 60, and 90 days. There's training on that in school for free. Everything I provide to you is free. Okay. You can do it on your own for free. You can use AI to do this. So in school, if you go in school and you go into landing the interview, I break it down. Now, once you've done that, you also want to improve your storytelling skills. How do you tell a story where you showcase using the STAR approach: situation, task, action, result? I had this situation. This was the problem. This was how we're going to solve it. Here's what I did. Here's the result. But with an emotional arc. The more you tell a story, the more memorable you are in the interview. And then end of the day, make it clear. Make it super clear. How are you going to solve your problems? How does the experience back that up? Now, typically after that, you will have a technical case study. This is where you want to practice that and practice mock case studies. Now, if all this goes well, congrats. Now you got the offer. So at that point, it's all about negotiation. So ensure you learn to negotiate. My first tip is never negotiate through email. Always over the phone. Okay. And those are the steps through the funnel to land a high-paying job. Okay, let's keep it going. So with that being said, this is where I make you an offer to work with me to get you hired in your next 6-figure role. Okay. If you want to get into another 6-figure role, type "get me hired" in the chat. Type "get me hired." Let's talk about how we get you hired through Skill Hack. So I'm happy to help you learn the skills to land a new high-paying role as a business analyst, a designer, or project manager, or product manager, scrum master, software developer, or project coordinator. Okay, I see Dr. Alexis in the chat. Thank you. Richard, I got you. So how do you actually work with you? Number one, we go through all the steps together. So number one, we teach you all the skills through our boot camps. 2, we put you in an apprenticeship where you will actually come out of the program with actual work experience and a portfolio. Number 3, we're going to connect you to our hiring partners and tools, and you have a one-on-one coach right by your side coaching you through your job interviews. How long does it take? About 2 to 6 months. So once again, number 1, we will teach you all the skills you need in a fast period for any of these roles above: BA, designer, project manager, developer, product manager, project coordinator. Number 2, we put you in an apprenticeship so you actually have the experience. And number 3, we connect you with our hiring partners and tools. And 4, you have a coach by your side coaching you to success. We're an award-winning team. This is the award we got recently as the Black Product Innovators of the Year from Opsity. Here's the head of innovation at TD. giving me the award, saying how our work is very important and the innovation from our company is changing the game. A bit more about Skill Hat. We're a training and staffing company. We're based in Toronto, Canada, and Houston, Texas. And we train people who are really motivated in tech skills and help them land roles at the world's best companies. So with us, you can pivot, transition, and grow with a mentor by your side. You belong here if you want to transition into technology, strategy, or management, or you're a newcomer to US and Canada, or you want to get certified or promoted, or you're a new grad. We have incredible numbers. We've trained thousands of people, but our completion rate is just really high, 92%. I'm looking at faces here in this image. We have this guy, Lola, who's doing well right now, having taken our program as a business systems analyst. I think we have Aura here. It's crazy because these faces were in the training course and now they're doing well in their jobs. So congrats to all these faces. The average alumni from our program will increase your income by 45K. What would your life look like right now with an extra 45K a year? If you're at 60K, we're going to get you to 105. If you're at 100K, we're going to get you to 145K. And that's our promise to you because of the depth of our training and our services. Now, you can tap into the network as well. We have a network of top alumni across different companies. And so it's always great to be able to tap into a success network, right? I'm seeing a comment from O'Neill in the chat saying that, so O'Neill, what is your location? I'm not sure where you're located. Maybe you can help me understand because it's unclear where you're located. Okay, so there are 4 gaps that you have to fill to land a high-paying job. Okay, now you have to learn the skills. You have to have hands-on experience, showcasing that you've done the work with the skills. Then you have to be marketable. How do you market yourself? You have to have a resume that opens doors for you, whereby any employer who sees it says, oh, okay, when can you come in for an interview? And then you have to interview so well that when you're leaving, the employer feels like, oh my God, like when can you start? Right? We had a story of one of our alumni. Well, it happened twice now. The first one, she got the job. She did the interview. And it's funny because the case study they gave her was the exact same case study we did in class. And then by the time she got into her car, they called her and they said, hey, come back upstairs. We're going to give you the offer. The second one, she was in her car. As soon as she got home, they called her and said, that was a great interview. When can you start? Right? That's being marketable. And then also, what's your LinkedIn like? LinkedIn is a fantastic platform to land positions today. A lot of you are watching this on LinkedIn right now. If you have a great LinkedIn profile, you don't just have to apply to jobs. Jobs will apply to you. So this is marketability, your resume, interview skills, LinkedIn profile. And then last but not least is your network. Having a network of peers, people who are already in the role that you want to get into, a network of leaders, people who hire people into that role. So that gives you a lot of confidence and context. Imagine you want to become a senior BA, but you have a mentor who is a director of business analysis who hires BAs. He might not give you a job, but he's going to give you so much more context, right? And then a network of even job seekers. The job seeker network is also good because you guys can connect together and apply together and give you yourselves encouragement. These are the 4 gaps to land a high-paying job in tech. Not just PM or Scrum, so ignore the heading. A high-paying tech job, skills gap, you fill that gap, so get certified, get the soft skills, learn the tools, get the cross-functional hands-on experience, become marketable, and build a network. And how exactly we do that through Skill Hat is first we do the boot camp. So we train you in the cutting-edge skills for 9 to 11 weeks. And then we put you in a team in our Tech Career Accelerator, where you get to launch a viable product with a team for 9 weeks. And the benefit of this is that it really builds your experience and gives you stories to tell and hard evidence of you deploying the skills. Then the next piece is what solves the marketability gap, which is the one-on-one career coaching. This is where we essentially will help you figure out the right roles for yourself, create you your resume, help you with your LinkedIn branding and interview prep. So this is where you have a one-on-one coach like myself who every day will work with you on the things you need to do to be successful and land interviews. And then once you land the interviews, we're going to help you crush it and get the job. And then last but not least is networking. We're having a few networking events in May. We do a lot of these in April as well, by the way. So networking, building your network is key. And then that's not where we stop. Once you land your position, we put you in another program called 7-Figure Boardroom, where you get support on your first role. Okay. Now here's where you may be now saying, I'm not fulfilled, or I want more for myself. I want a multi 6-figure role. How do I get there? So the first step is the bootcamp training programs. Second is the Tech Career Accelerator, where you actually will do the hands-on in a team. Here's where you learn. It's very practical and hands-on, but here's where you collaborate with other functions. For example, if you want to be a project manager, you take the Agile Project Management course, and then you go into Tech Accelerator to actually manage a team that's cross-functional. Now you're working with developers. Now you're working with designers. Now you're working with security analysts in this program. Now you're working with this project sponsor to launch an app, a real product that will have real customers. This is not just writing documents. This is writing real code, deploying it, and acquiring customers. And you have the real experience to share with employers. Now, step 3 is the one-on-one coaching. I see a question in the chat. Do I do one-on-one coaching? I do one-on-one coaching still, right? So you can get a chance to have one-on-one coaching with me. I'm in some of the boot camps. I'm everywhere. This is what I love. A lot of people see me on LinkedIn and they see I run the company, but they think I'm not involved. I'm involved. I'm in the classes. I'm doing some classes myself. I'm in the accelerator. I'm looking at the products. I'm looking at the code. I'm looking at the design. I'm looking at the market data. I'm doing one-on-one with you. I'm looking at your resume myself. So you can expect to have me involved through the process, but not just me. We have an excellent, incredible team. We have in our Agile Project Management Bootcamp, Jerome Hilton. How many of you guys know Jerome Hilton? Jerome is a legend. Jerome right now is a director of AI at EA Sports. How many of you play FIFA, Call of Duty? They make that game. He's working on FIFA right now, on the new version of FIFA. Incredible guy, runs the bootcamp for our Agile Project Management program. In our BA program, we have incredible instructors as well, like Esther Rajasekharan, who leads data at BMO Bank of Montreal. She teaches in our BA bootcamp, right? In our accelerator, we have the head of product management at Skillhat El Sawi, who used to be a head of product management at Loblaw, one of the biggest retail companies in Canada. Ran the whole team of designers, developers, product managers. He runs this program with myself. And the one-on-one coaching, we have coaches like Sham Salim, Kola Desoya, Balumi, who have coached many, many, many people to success, from plumbers, from retail people, customer service people, coach them to landing interviews and roles for project manager roles, product manager roles, business analyst roles, developer roles, designer roles. So this is a process that always works. Get the training, build products hands-on, solve problems for real startups and real customers, and have a one-on-one coach who works with you till you're successful. And that will land you a 6-7-figure role in a 6-7-figure career. So who are Skillhat programs for? Number 1, if you are motivated to learn the skills and take action, you're like, I want to do the work. I'm ready to invest the time and energy. I don't want a bullshit 2-year program that will be outdated by the time I'm done. I want to put in rigorous effort now for 4-6 months and get the results. This is for you. Number 2, if you are eligible to work in North America or Europe or any location that can get you a 6-figure job. Now, we focus on the North American market, meaning that we focus on getting you a job in North America. Now, people come to me and say, hey, Mo, I'm in Jamaica, I'm in Nigeria. Yeah, you can get a 6-figure job, US remote job from there, and we can help you with that, right? So, but you have to be eligible to work or become eligible to work from there. So we don't help you with the immigration piece of the work. We help you with the training and the skills and the network to be able to tap in. Number 3, you have to have done a high school degree at the least, at the minimum. And number 4, if you can invest at least 5 hours per week to learn. People come to me and they say, hey, Mo, I don't want to learn. I just want the job. Right? Can you just give me a job? I can't just give you a job. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I mean, I could hire people, but I can't hire everybody. We have a team that still have 26 employees. So we're not hiring right now. Right? And so people come to me and they say, hey, just go do the interview for me and get the job and do the job, and I'll pay you half my salary. I don't do that. Right? We help you learn the skills, learn how to fish for yourself so you can be successful. Okay, so this is not a get rich quick scheme. It doesn't work. It's not going to be quick. It's going to take you at least 2 to 6 months at the minimum, but it'll be worth it. Okay. Now, ask yourself, what is the cost? Ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, how would you feel if the next 2 years are like the last 2 years? How would you feel if the next 2 years are like your last 2 years? Right? How would you feel? Number 2, and write down the answer. Write the answer down. Number 1, how would you feel if the next 2 years are like the last 2 years? You can put it in the chat for me. How would you feel? Number 2, if you continue to take the same steps that you have been taking in the last 3 months, will things stay the same, or will they change for the better or change for the worse? Okay. Ask yourself that as well. Write the answer down. If you continue to take the same steps you've been taking in the last 3 months, if you keep doing that going forward, will things stay the same in your life, change for the better, or change for the worse? Okay. If your answer is not change for the better, it means you have to do something different. Okay. If things will stay the same and you don't want the same, or things will change for the worse, then you want to do something different. And if you want to do something different or work with someone different, then ask yourself the question, do you believe that I haven't heard what you heard today and gone through free training today? Do you believe that myself, Mo, can help you get to a better future? If you believe so, then simply book a call with me right now. I'm going to put a link in the chat right now. Okay, I'm going to put a link in the chat. If you want to work with me to improve or increase your income and happiness, book a one-on-one call with me right here. Okay, I've put the link in the chat. Okay. We take calls every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This call is free. So let me be clear. It's a free call. It's a free discovery call. What are we going to do on the call? Number 1, we're going to understand your background and your history. 2, we're going to give you a test to identify the right tech role for you. And 3, the test will recommend 1 or 2 options. You get to pick the option. And then 4, we build you a free career roadmap to achieve the high income role that you want. And then you have the option to decide to go on that roadmap with Skill Hat. So once again, when you book that call, number 1, we will understand your background and your goals. 2, administer you a test that can figure out and help you determine the right role for you. 3, build you a custom roadmap to achieve that goal. And 4, give you the option to work with Skill Hat and myself to achieve the high income role that you want for yourself. In addition, every single person who works with Skill Hat will get free AI software to apply for your first 100 jobs for free. Okay, this is a game changer. The biggest blocker for people who've learned the skills, have the network, is just the ability to consistently apply for jobs because it's draining, it's boring. and it's time consuming. So imagine you're focusing on learning and networking and living your life while the AI is applying for jobs for you. And all you're getting is email alerts saying, congrats, you have an interview scheduled tomorrow, accept or reject. That's what you want. And we're offering you that at no cost if you work with SkillHat. And with that being said, thank you. Thank you for a fantastic time today in today's masterclass. Your next steps is to apply, is to book a call. So you can just book a call with me. That's your first step. And you can enroll with SkillHat. So Chinwe is asking, how do we get access to apply all if you're already a student? Great question. A link was posted on Slack. What we're going to do is we're probably going to, just two ways. So number one, when you have your one-on-one coaching call with your coach, the coach will give you access. Students who are enrolled prior to last week Friday get a discount on apply all, whereas those who are enrolling after last Friday because our price changed to reflect the new tool get it for free. So folks who were in the program before last week Friday get apply all at a really, really good discount. So I will post the link again on the Slack channel for the students for our SkillHats program. Okay, thank you for asking that question, Chinwe. So now I will stay available. This is my gift to you. I'm not going to leave. I'm done. I'm done my presentation, but I'm not going to leave. I'm going to hang around and answer any questions you have. So please ask me any question you have right now on landing a high-paying job in tech. Let me look at the question from Stuart. Well, Stuart says great content. I appreciate that. Now, let me get you some links. So some of you asked for the link to our free community, free training, free community with training. That's in the chat. I put that in the chat. School. Everything I train on here is probably somewhere in school for free. I spent the whole Christmas holiday recording all this stuff for you guys. So tap in. Mercy says you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, Mercy. I appreciate that. For those who watched the session, you spent 2 hours of your time. I really appreciate that. Just so I know what was most valuable to you, I'd appreciate if you could just let me know. What were some of the biggest insights you gained from today? Just put in the chat. Whatever was valuable for you, just let me know. I would appreciate that. It will help me know, one, I added value, but also what was valuable to you, so I keep doing more of that. So just send me some feedback in the chat. I'll see it, and it'll help me out a lot. Now, let's look at the questions from O'Neill and others in the chat. Let's see. So, O'Neill, you have a lot of questions. Just book a call. Book a call, man. You're asking a lot of really good questions around, he says most careers tend to require first degrees or even masters. Is that a question? I'm not sure what the question is there, which the answer is true. But it doesn't have to be a first degree in tech. It could be any degree. The other question was, the SkillHat programs are for how long? The answer is typically 2 to 6 months for most of our programs. And are you confident that one can gain enough knowledge? The answer is yes. Many people have done that. Unfortunately, O'Neill, you missed the first part where one of our alumni came in and talked about how she transitioned from social work. Okay, so people have done it. A lot of people have done it, to be specific, hundreds. And so you can do it too. And then the last question is, does our program provide recognizable certification? The answer is yes, because we're PMI certified and IIB certified. Okay. Tyreek says, do you have to have any prior specific skills? I would say the number one transferable skill coming into SkillHat is communication. If you can communicate like I'm speaking right now, understand the person's needs, thoughts, problems, that's the first start. Number two is documentation. If you can use Microsoft Word, that's a great start. Excel, even better. And then there's more so a mindset. People who come here have to have a mindset because our programs are intense and fast. You see, I spent 2 hours with you. A lot of stuff was delivered in 2 hours. Imagine 5 hours a week for 6 months of training alone plus homework. It's very intense, very fast paced. So it's more so the mindset and the motivation. If you have the mindset, the motivation, you can thrive at Skill Hat. If not, it will not work for you. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a very intense program, but the results always show because we beat out the competition when it comes to interviewing because of our unique tactics and the skill sets you will gain. Another question, let's see. Am I the one that does one-on-one coaching? The answer is yes. I do a lot of one-on-ones, but the best part is I'm not the only one who will do one-on-ones with you. You will have other coaches who are even better than me and have more capacity than me who will be your one-on-one dedicated coaches. Another question, what is the cost of our program? Our program costs are detailed in the form I posted. So if you want to book a call, through the process of booking a call, you will actually see all the costs displayed to you. So I'll put the link in the chat again to say, click here to book a free one-on-one consultation call with me to build you free career roadmap to 6 and 7 figures. There we go. That is now in the chat. Okay. Now, if you ever lose that link and you want to book a call with me at any time, just simply go to skillhat.ca, right here, skillhat.ca, and just click the link, book a free call. And then you get a chance to book a free call with me. It'll ask you a few questions, and then that's it. You get to have a conversation with myself and my team, and we can go ahead to build your career roadmap to success and give you an option to enroll with SkillHat. Let's look at what else we have people saying. Another question. For tech professionals who want to enter the Canadian market with 10 years of experience, what course would you advise? It depends on a few things. One, what is the experience in? Okay, where are you coming from and where do you want to go? So it all depends on what your background is and where you want to go. And third, how much time do you have? Right? Some roles require more time and more technical depth than others. And then that's the fourth thing. How much technical depth do you want? How deep do you want to go? So I can't answer that question specifically. So I would recommend that you book a call with me. And on that call, we can break down where you are, where you want to go, your level of technical depth or your willingness for technical depth, and your situation. Do you have kids? Do you have family? Are you busy? Are you a single guy? All that helps determine where you should go. So book a call and we can break that down with you. Mercy says, you talked about how we can frame our experiences and actions from frontline staff to change agent. How do we navigate requirements around educational background? Great question. Again, I don't know your background, so I don't know how to answer that specifically. So book a call. When you book a call, we can discuss, me and you, exactly your educational background and what gaps may exist. That's the answer. My man Shagun, I've been seeing your comments. Thank you so much for all your comments on our LinkedIn content, saying I love how you broke the process down. Appreciate that. Shagun also asked for the link to join this free school community. Okay, I will post that link here. I think I posted the wrong link before, actually. So give me 1 second. Let me get you the right link. It wasn't the wrong link, but it was the link that I had to really share a different link so we can actually get you in properly. So let me get you the right link to join the school community. Give me 1 second here. Boom, I got it. So join the free school community or free training here. Okay. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? Are you working as a contractor or an employee? Wilson asked. Well, you have the option to do both. Like, this is up to you. I'm not sure if you're asking about me specifically. I've done both. I've been a contractor, an employee. In your first job, I recommend that you're not choosy. Whatever opportunity you get, you take in your first job. But when you start to have experience, The benefit of a contractor is you get paid more. As a contractor, you get paid more per hour. So, for example, as a project manager in your first contract, you might expect to get paid between 50 to 70, 80 an hour, which is 100 to 160K a year as a contractor. As an employee, you might get paid between 80K to 100K, in your first job as a project manager. So the contractor where it gets paid more per hour. But the benefit of the employee is you have job stability and you have benefits, so healthcare benefits, for example, versus the contractor who gets paid more, but the job has an end date. A contractor, 1-year contract, 6-month contract, 2-year contracts are typical. We even have as low as 3-month contracts that do get renewed. So totally up to you. Make more money now or have the stability as an employee. Kathy says, I missed the session. May I get a recording? Of course. Tomorrow morning, a recording will be emailed to you. Okay. Okay, cool. She's asking, do I take classes? Yes. That's what we do. We provide you training. Sharon says, I would like to join the upcoming cohort. Can you provide a template for a letter to write to her employer? Absolutely. Yes. I'd love to help you with that. If you want that letter, Sharon, just email operations@skillhat.ca. And maybe I can share how to get that letter. Okay. So I'll share a screen, insert text. If you are looking to take the program, for example, and you want a letter for your boss, all you have to do is simply, you can just send an email to this email address. I'll share my screen shortly for Shireen. Let me share my screen. All you have to do is email this email address, operations@skillhat.ca, and then CC me, the info@skillhat.ca, so I ensure they get it done quickly. Okay, Shireen, I hope you got this. A lot of people want the employers to sponsor our programs. Always a great idea. So once you send this request, this letter to this email address, you will get the letter to you. Okay. What else do we have in the chat? What other questions do we have? Let's see. Are we saying that it's not likely that remote jobs can be landed where we remain in Jamaica? It's possible. The question is, how do you increase the chances? So you increase the chances by increasing your skill set, 1, increasing your network, 2, increasing your hands-on experience, 3, and increasing your marketability. So of course it's possible. People are doing that all the time. Of course it's possible. We can help you with that. Absolutely. So you have to increase the likelihood of making yourself special, because Canadian employers, US employers, they have opportunities to hire locally, right? And so if you want to get a US job from Jamaica, what is the advantage you're bringing in versus local candidates? Number one, you may price yourself a little bit cheaper to get the employer some cost savings while still maintaining the same quality or even a higher level of quality, which is about the skill sets as well. So that's the answer. It's definitely possible. People are doing it all the time. Okay. So Shay says, do I take classes? Meaning, do I participate as an instructor? Yes, I do. So you will see me in the classes if you want. Okay. With that being said, that's the end of our stream today. Thank you all so much for your time. You will get, again, if you haven't booked a call, not sure what you're waiting for, book a call with me. Okay, book a call with me as soon as you can, so we can get you to success. Go to skillhat.ca and just choose book a call. Chinwe had asked, how likely is the ability to land a job with core hours, 4 hours? I'm sorry. I don't really understand the question. If you can rephrase, that'd be helpful. I didn't quite understand the question. So Shego was saying that through LinkedIn Live, you cannot see the responses. That's quite interesting. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that. So the number one thing you guys should be doing, number one thing, is booking a call for people who are looking to take a step further. When you book a one-on-one call with me, everything will be presented to you. For those who do not see the link, it's simply skillhat.ca. I'll make it simple, skillhat.ca, and then you go to book a free call. Okay, that's the number one thing. That's for those who can't see the link. To join the school community, if you can't see the link to do that, how would I even share the link? If you can't see the link, then I don't know what to do. So I would recommend that you email info@skillhat if you want to join the school community. Just email info@skillhat and say, hey, I need the link to join school. I couldn't see it on LinkedIn. Okay. Is there a payment plan? Yes. Every single program has payment plans. You can pay in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and even 24 months, which is fantastic. So I recommend you book a call to get the payment plan. Are the courses certified? Yes. They are certified by PMI, IIBA. Okay. O'Neill says put the WhatsApp group. I got you. So my assistant, Dolapo, please put the link to join, to book a call in the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you all so much. It's been 2 hours. I really enjoyed myself learning from you guys. I will see y'all on the next webinar. The next masterclass we have is on, let me give you the date. The next one is in 2 Sundays from now, which I believe is March 30th. Let me just grab the date for you guys. March 30th. Okay, so here's what's happening on March 30th, the next masterclass. Cybersecurity. You should look into that if you want a career that has longevity. Every single company is looking to protect themselves in the age where AI is now being used to hack into company devices. Okay. Every single company is a tech company today, and they have to be protected. Recently, ChatGPT went down. I was so frustrated, and it hit me. It went down for like half an hour, and I thought to myself, wow, these companies, half an hour of being down, imagine having 3 or 4 times a month. Everyone switches to their competitor. So what's the impact of that? Another example is Amazon went down for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. They lost $10 million for 5 minutes being down. So they'd rather pay you as a security analyst $200K a year to keep them up versus going down for 5 minutes and losing 10 million. And so we're going to be doing a training on cybersecurity. Put that on your calendar. If you don't get the alert, look for it. Cybersecurity training on March 30th. And this is for both technical and non-technical roles. So if you want to get into a non-technical role, it's going to help. If you want to get into a technical role in cybersecurity, it's going to help as well. March 30th, 4 p.m. as well. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Keep an eye out on your inbox for that training. With that being said, thank you to all who joined. I appreciate all the positive comments. I will see you on the next masterclass. God bless.